Kia ora everyone, talofa lava. It's lovely to be in this beautiful space. Thank you very much for having us here, and some of our beautiful UCoL students, past and present. My name is Kane Parsons, and I like that. It's been with me for 41 years now, and I think I'm slowly growing into it. I've learned a few things on my journey, and it's always lovely to be asked to come and talk about that, about your life, because you do go back. I actually have to do a talk to the Rotary on Monday as well, so it kind of really sinks in well with tonight. When you get asked to go back and listen to or play one of your first compositions, it can be a little bit scary. I haven't had to bring a couple of lyric sheets because it's been so long. Good night, Mr. Policeman. I'm going to play a song soon called Soldiers of Song, which was written in 2001. At that particular time, a dear friend of Dave and mine, Adam Crawford, we went on a fear and loathing hitchhiking journey from Palmerston North. We got as far as Queenstown and back. We had 2 guitars and a backpack and some other fun things along the way. And on the way back, we had some scary experiences actually hitchhiking. One was on the way back, we got a ride coming out of Queenstown, kind of by Twizel. And there was a guy, I was sitting in the back, my brother was in the front passenger, and we hopped in and the guy was like, "Would you like a beer?" And we were like, "Sure, very much." And then I realised there was many beers on the floor where my feet were, and the guy had been drinking for a while, and as he was driving, he started to fall asleep. We were driving 100 k's, and it was getting quite, oh my gosh, so we had to ask him to pull over. The whole time from Palmerston to Queenstown, we put out our thumbs, got a ride. We stopped at this small town, and you can just imagine the beautiful, the mountains around that area, and it was pretty freezing cold. We went and got a little bottle of whiskey, and we waited for hours and hours to get a ride. We didn't get a ride, and we had to stay in a little place and watch Coronation Street for the first time in my life. But we had a little bottle of whiskey and a few cans of Coke. While we were waiting, I had, and this goes to my process of songwriting, I do it 2 ways. One is inspiration, it comes. The other way is somebody says, "Can you please write this? I'll possibly pay you money and you've got a very short amount of time to do it." I like either of those ways, preferably the one that does pay you, but I love the inspiration one as well. And this song came from that. Most of you will probably be alive to remember 9/11, and we were in Timaru that day. Welcome, come in, have a seat. And that was a pretty harrowing experience. I was on the way back. I was heading to Auckland next to be in the Love Rock musical here with the Auckland Theatre Company. So it was a crazy time. And while I was waiting on the side of the road, all we had was a guitar, and a song appeared, and it's called Soldiers of Song.
I have traveled high and low. I know the world as my home. Most importantly, I know my own country, where I was born. Traveled her beauty many times, been touched along the way. Met the people that live from her land, who give back all they can. We are creators of melody, soldiers of song. We write the books that liberate, keep love rolling along. We travel by night who travel by day, minstrels on the roam. We bring you courtesy, we bring you love, as peace follows us along. We have many names that you would know, we have no disguise. Enter your lives and bring our song for your soul's appetite. We are creators of melody, soldiers of song. We write the books that liberate, keep love rolling along. We are protected by harmony, patience is our sword. The stars show our destiny, our guide is the Lord. Traveled with mistresses, I've seen the lights above. So I am the one who knows all about love on the road.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of those ones that just comes out of somewhere. I think at the time I was definitely listening to an album that's actually 50 years old this year, the Plastic Ono Band by one of my favourites, John Lennon. He has a beautiful song in there called Working Class Hero, which is also an A minor. It has a... As soon as you're born, they make you feel small. So I think that definitely had a... And that's what happens with music. You hear something, it will assimilate into you, and hopefully it comes out not as plagiarism, but something that you have cooked up into your own little melting pot. And that's what I do love about music and songwriting, is that I personally have a lot of influences. I love classical music. Some people are like, you like classical music? Like, yeah, I love it. I also love some dirty hard metal, and I love some good old-fashioned hip-hop and everything in between. And you'll find you can take all those little bits and, like when the Cat's Away said, put it in your melting pot and something beautiful will come out. And after that, I got to Auckland and I met a brother up there called Anasi'i Jerome Leota, who is my soul brother. He's the rhythm master of the universe. And Sam was talking before, we go under the label Kane and Abel. And that song's only been recorded once, well, twice now, for tonight, I think it's been recorded. It was recorded 2001 in the Sky City Theatre after we'd done one of the performances of Here, where we got naked in front of 40,000 people, by the way, including my parents and grandparents. Oh my gosh, that was... Yeah, and my siblings. And every night the person on the lights would take longer and longer. You'd had your robe on, Tibetan robe, freedom, and everything would be hanging out, all 30 of us on stage, and then the lights would not go, oh my gosh, until blackout. Oh dear. After one of those shows, we stuck around because it was a live band, and I was just got a brother to record it for me. And my man Jerome just came onto the stage with his conga, and we did one take, and it's probably the most beautiful recording I've ever been part of, especially with him. He's just got a voice like an angel, and there's not many I don't have it on... Oh, actually, we've got it on our website, hokozoo.com. You can go check it out there. But we're going to try and redo a video. The music video we did for years ago was my grandfather's war footage he took while he was over there in World War II, or in Egypt and stuff, and it just works absolutely perfect to this particular song, them playing rugby in the desert and all that sort of stuff. So, that was Soldiers of Song. And I do definitely feel that reverberates for what we do, and as my job as a teacher, one of my jobs, is that we are soldiers of song. As musicians and artists of life, our responsibility is to use our talents in music for the betterment of other people. Whether we're teaching young people or mature people, doesn't matter. but we're passing on something because I think music does have the power to, and no airy-fairiness here, but I actually do believe it has the power to make people feel better and change things. Anyway, enough about that. Goodness gracious, this guy, blah, blah, blah. That was grand. So they asked me to do a new song. And I wrote a song recently, and guess this was another little bit of inspiration, Styles, is that there was an article in the paper not so long ago, and we walk through this place all the time. We know it as the Square, but it actually has a Māori name. Does anybody know the Māori name for the Square? Te Marae or Hine, and translate the courtyard of the daughter of peace. Now, I said before, I'm 41. I've lived in this town on and off most of my life. I've got 4 kids now and a wife and a mortgage and all those great things, and we've only got 1 car, so I do have to walk to work all the time. So I walk through there, and there was an article in the paper saying Te Marae o Hine, this name was gifted many, many moons ago to us. And I was like, how do I not know this? And then I went to the statue. So you can go just right over here. There's a statue of Te Piti, Te Awi Awi, and if you haven't gone before, you should go definitely check it out. On the statue at the back, it says these words, Te Peti's final words, Kua kaupapa e ao te aroha, mā koutou e whakaoti, which translates as, I have laid the foundation of friendship for you to bring to completion. So the whole idea was Māori and Pākehā working together. And this, the Square, or Te Marae o Hine, that name was gifted to us. Now, it's a beautiful place. I don't know if you remember growing up, some of us, it was a not so nice place. There was lots of trees and things went on that was always not so good. It looks a lot nicer now. If you haven't gone past the statue and read the words, I'd love you to go and do it and just find out a little bit more. There's also a few other statues around the place, around what the clock tower means, and also one on a tree. You can go and read that one yourself because it's quite nice. Now, this was written, just a little idea as I was walking through, as what happens with us musos, and then took it and I thought, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it into a choral piece, 4 parts. Tonight, I'm only 1 part, so you're going to hear 1 part of 4. I don't know which part I'll do, but hopefully it'll come out and it'll be something. We're going to do a premiere of it, I think, in end of August. There's going to be one in Te Manawa and one, I think, at Globe 2, as part of the 150th celebration this year. If you don't know where, it's 150 years of Palmerston North being called Palmerston North. So I'm going to give it a go, and I also, it's in Te Reo, so I'm on that journey at the moment, and also, ka pai to you, Mr. Fraser. Both times I've come, he's opened up, he's a Scottish man speaking Te Reo. It's pretty cool. Ka pai, man, give it a go. Give it a bloody go. All right, let's see what happens. I might even get you to sing along, actually. So, as I was walking, this was the tune that came to my head. You know, tunes get stuck in your head. Hum it with me. One more time. Very nice, thank you, Laura. It sounds lovely there. And that formed the basis of the main sort of part of it. Kua ko papa e au, te aroha, mā koutou e whakaoti. Te Marae o Hine, thank you. Te Marae o Hine, the courtyard of the daughter of peace, the courtyard of the daughter of peace. I have laid the foundation of friendship for you to bring to completion, the courtyard of the daughter of peace was founded by the kaupapa of community
and peace between Maori and Pakeha in Papaioia, in Papaioia. Te marae o Hine, te marae o Hine, but who was the daughter of peace? Te rongorito, te rongorito. That's the bass part, a bit too low for me. Tahirua toru wha, inara o mua. Looking back is looking forward. Ki maki aho, I aha te menui o te o. He tangata, he tangata, he tangata. Te marae o Hine, te marae o Hine, the courtyard of the daughter of peace, the courtyard of the daughter of peace. In Papaioia, in Papaioia. Kua ko papa e te aroha, makoto e whakaote. Amene, 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 amen. Mungarungo, mungarungo, mungarungo.
Oh, I'm glad I got through that. I was a little bit scared about doing that. As I said, I can't wait till it has the 4 parts sung. It's going to be pretty nice. And there's a couple of people in this audience who like to be in the choir. So yeah, that's I guess the inspiration sometimes. Doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, oh my love, I do love it. But I love also writing to order. That is my, so one of the parts I do, and tonight we've got some beautiful students here from UCoL, so doing the teaching side of things, but I also like to be on stage or behind the stage or write music for musicals or sound design, where they go, hey Kane, we need a piece that sounds like Bernard Herrmann to start the show and it needs to be a minute long. You're like, who's Bernard Herrmann? And you're like, and if you don't know, he's did all the music for Alfred Hitchcock's movies. Psycho, probably one of the most famous. And if you look at that piece of music, it just doesn't even, it sounds pretty horrendous, but it looks beautiful on the page. So you go and study these people and you go and write something really quickly. I remember playing golf, not that I'm much of a golfer, but one time playing with a dear mate, Reihana Haronga, and I got a call on the golf course. Sounds like a ridiculous thing, but it happened from Alison Quigan, and she used to be the lady that ran Centrepoint Theatre for many moons, possibly about 30, and she gave me my first break on that stage there. Lovely lady. Anyway, one day she rang me up and said, Kane, I'm writing a musical. I was like, firstly, Alison Quigan was ringing me. I was like, oh my gosh. Then it's like, I'm writing a musical. I want you to write the music. Like, oh my gosh. And it was called Girls' Weekend Escape. And it was a pretty fun thing. So it's great to write to order because you have a deadline. And deadlines are our best friends sometimes. Not that we like them as musicians, but in the last hour we love them because you've got to get it done. And there's nothing like getting to that point, either getting sung by other people or you hearing your music through a sound system or whatever it is and going, oh my gosh, I created that. That's the exciting part. Now I've got to play a cover, don't I? You know how hard it is to choose a cover to play? Really, eh? I don't know how you guys, but I had tricky. I thought a lot of things. I thought, oh, what are all the songs that inspired me as a young fella growing up? And there was quite a few. I remember definitely being a 7, 8-year-old with my cousin having a tennis racket, listening to Money for Nothing, going, that is the coolest riff in the history of the world. Then when Thunderstruck came out, like, oh my gosh, that is the coolest riff in the history of the world. And then at 12 or 11, hearing Under the Bridge riff, oh my God, that is the coolest riff in the world. Then hearing Stairway to Heaven, we had Black Dog, all those bits and pieces, like, oh my goodness gracious. One thing that's been through my whole life has been the Beatles. I have probably had my most musical education through them. From what the 4 guys that really didn't know anything to what they sort of produced, you could put them in the realms of the Bachs and the Mozart, because they really have put some unbelievable bits and pieces out there in terms of music. We had a debate last year in my diploma class because 2 girls didn't even know who the Beatles were. I know. Okay. Had to do some educating, and then one was like, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. It's like, well, that's fine. You don't have to like everything, but why? Let's be specific. So we thought we'd have a debate, and by gosh, it got heated. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, I love them. I don't know what song to do, but I thought I'll go to 1965, Rubber Soul. This song actually had the first use of sitar in Western music, then which influenced Rolling Stones with Paint It Black and Donovan with Sunshine Superman. John Lennon kind of penned it. I liked it because it was a story. It wasn't like just, I want to hold your hand or that sort of fluffy stuff. There was a story, kind of, and it was Dylan-esque, who's another favourite of mine too, that brother, how he can write. It's called Norwegian Wood. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good, Norwegian wood. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. So I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. She told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in the bath. And when I awoke, I was alone. This bird had flown. So I lit a fire. Isn't it good, Norwegian wood? Norwegian wood. Norwegian wood. Thank you very much.